The wicked mother-in-law stood in the doorway blocking Jessica from entering her own home. "You are not welcome here anymore," she said with venom in her voice. Jessica felt her heart pounding as she clutched her grocery bags tighter. This was the house she shared with her husband John, but his mother had moved in 3 months ago and turned their peaceful marriage into a living nightmare. It started small at first. Mama John would criticize the way Jessica cooked jollof rice. "Too much pepper," she would say. "In my village we cook it properly." Then she started criticizing everything else. The way Jessica dressed, the way she spoke, the way she cleaned the house. Nothing was ever good enough for this wicked mother-in-law. John always took his mother's side. "She is just trying to help," he would say weakly. "You need to respect her." But respect was a two-way street, and Mama John showed Jessica none. She would go through Jessica's things without permission. She gave away Jessica's favorite clothes to neighbors, saying they were too revealing. She told everyone in the compound that Jessica was a terrible wife who could not take care of her son properly. The worst part was how she poisoned John against his own wife. Every night Mama John would whisper in her son's ear, "Your wife is lazy. Your wife is disrespectful. Your wife does not love you like I do." John started coming home late, avoiding Jessica altogether. When he was home, he barely spoke to her. Their marriage was crumbling, and this wicked mother-in-law was enjoying every minute of it. Jessica had tried everything. She had tried being patient and kind. She had tried talking to John. She had even tried winning Mama John over with gifts and special meals. Nothing worked. But Jessica was done being a victim. This wicked mother-in-law was about to meet her match. What would you do in this situation? Jessica stood in that doorway and made a decision. She was not going to beg or cry or plead anymore. She looked Mama John straight in the eye and smiled calmly. "Excuse me," she said politely but firmly. "This is my house and I am coming in." Mama John's eyes widened in shock. She was not used to Jessica standing up to her. "How dare you talk to me like that? I am your elder." Jessica walked past her into the house. "Being older does not give you the right to be cruel," she said over her shoulder. That night when John came home, his mother ran to him with tears in her eyes. "Your wife insulted me today," she wailed. "She has no respect. She wants to throw me out of this house." John turned to Jessica with anger on his face, but Jessica was ready. She pulled out her phone and played a recording. It was Mama John talking to a neighbor that afternoon. "Listen to what your mother really thinks," Jessica said calmly. On the recording, Mama John was bragging about how she was going to make sure John divorced Jessica so he could marry a girl from their village. A girl she had already chosen. A girl who would obey her every command. John's face went pale as he listened to his mother plotting against his marriage. "You have been playing us against each other," Jessica said quietly. "You have been destroying our marriage on purpose." Mama John tried to deny it, but the evidence was clear. Over the next few days, Jessica revealed more recordings and messages. She had been documenting everything for weeks. Every insult, every manipulation, every lie this wicked mother-in-law had told. You would not believe how calculating this woman had been. But Jessica was smarter and she had proof of everything. If you want to see how Jessica finally defeats this wicked mother-in-law, hit that subscribe button now. John was devastated to learn the truth about his mother's schemes. He had been blind to her manipulation for so long. Jessica showed him messages where Mama John had been talking to relatives about finding him a new wife. She showed him videos of his mother going through their bedroom and throwing away Jessica's things. She even had evidence of Mama John spreading lies about Jessica to the entire neighborhood. The wicked mother-in-law realized she had been caught, but she was not ready to give up. She tried a different strategy. She fell to the ground clutching her chest, claiming she was having a heart attack. This was her final card to play. She knew John would never forgive himself if something happened to her. Jessica watched calmly as Mama John writhed on the floor dramatically. She pulled out her phone again. "John, do you remember 3 weeks ago when your mother had that other heart attack?" John nodded, looking worried. Jessica played another video. It showed Mama John laughing with a friend about how she faked chest pains to manipulate John into taking her side during an argument. "I can control that boy with tears and health scares," Mama John said on the video. "He is so weak he believes anything I say." The woman on the floor suddenly stopped her theatrics. She looked up at Jessica with pure hatred. "You recorded everything," she hissed. Jessica nodded. "Every single thing. For 3 months I have been gathering proof because I knew nobody would believe me without it. You made my life miserable, but you underestimated me." This wicked mother-in-law had finally met someone who would not be bullied. John looked at his mother with tears in his eyes. "How could you do this to us?" he asked. "Have you thought about what you would do if you had a wicked mother-in-law?" Share your thoughts below and make sure you subscribe for the finale. Mama John tried to explain herself, but there was no explanation that could justify months of cruelty and manipulation. John told his mother she had to leave their house. She protested and cried real tears this time, but he was firm. "You have destroyed my trust, Mama. You tried to destroy my marriage. I love you, but I cannot let you stay here anymore." The wicked mother-in-law packed her bags within the week. Before she left, she tried one more time to turn John against Jessica. "That woman has poisoned your mind against your own mother," she said. "You will regret choosing her over me." John shook his head. "No, Mama. You poisoned my mind against my wife. Jessica just opened my eyes to the truth." After she left, the house felt lighter. Jessica and John started rebuilding their marriage. It was not easy because trust had been broken and wounds needed time to heal. John apologized over and over for not believing Jessica sooner. "I was a coward," he said. "I should have protected you." Jessica forgave him, but she made something very clear. "If your mother ever comes back and you take her side over mine again, I will leave. Not because I do not love you, but because I love myself more." John understood. They set firm boundaries with his mother. She could visit occasionally, but she could never live with them again, and she had to treat Jessica with respect. Slowly, Mama John realized she had lost her power. Her son was no longer under her control. The wicked mother-in-law had finally met her match in a woman who refused to be broken. Remember how Mama John stood in that doorway trying to block Jessica from her own home? She learned that you cannot bully someone who knows their worth. Have you ever dealt with a difficult in-law? Tell us your story in the comments and subscribe for more amazing stories about people who refuse to back down.